video comes from a recent chat I had with Dean Mannix, who's an acclaimed public speaker and author. And in it we discussed, I guess, the technology that's being utilised now for the changes that are required for the staff to be in their new working environment, which is generally from home. One of the things we discussed was that the technology has been around for a while, and one of the biggest roadblocks to the implementation or the integration of the technology has been change management. I think, for one, that staff now and their utilisation of the technology will remove some of those roadblocks, and I just hope that long term the utilisation and the engagement. Well, I think actually I wrote down, we had a conversation a week ago, and I wrote down one of your lines, which was fantastic, was we're going through the biggest change period in history, really. So disruption to companies, this isn't unprecedented. You know, there's been, you look at how the internet disrupted companies, even things like the Uber and the taxis and things like that. So there's going to be companies that thrive out of this, that are able to adapt. I think the biggest thing is that it will expose staff, companies to technology that's been around for a little while.
Correct.
Maybe they haven't been, whether there's a fear or whether there's just this, we can continue to replicate what we've been doing for quite some time and do it the same way, well, they can't do that now.
There's nothing new that we're doing here. Like there's nothing new. We're just accelerating. So It's more of an acceleration than something new. Now, what does that mean? It means that basically the faster you're going, the more conscious and aware you have to be, the better leadership needs to be, the clearer the direction needs to be, because the faster we go, the more likely it is we make mistakes and the more likely it is we leave people behind.
Yeah.
And so I think that the companies, the companies that are really going to benefit out of this were positioned to benefit, but what was going to take 10 years is now taking maybe 10 days in the case of Zoom and 10 months in the case of others. That are benefiting from this, but it's also teaching old dogs new tricks. So like I'm 51, and I know that like playing 51 is young according to me in 2020. But from a learning perspective, the brain's not as elastic as it used to be. But it's forcing those that want to thrive in this environment, not just survive, to get very, very serious about adopting technologies. No, I personally am really enjoying this. I mean, most people think I'm a massive extrovert. I'm actually quite introverted. I like being in my little cocoon here in my green screen studio and just having meetings like this.
Yeah. Well, I think it's interesting. You've got to be open to change more than anything else. Like, you don't need to, people, and that's that culture. I think the companies that will thrive in this market are the ones that have a pretty good culture anyway. So they have a culture of good leadership, they have a culture of good staff and developing good staff and developing environments where staff can thrive. I think in this day and age that you want to provide now really good leadership and an environment where staff are being proactive in what, great ideas. Let's have an idea session and tell me where you think we can get better at what we're doing now. And you get them engaging.
Everyone's
that are very closed shop, they're going to struggle.
Everyone's got to grab an oar, and if you're not pulling an oar, get out of the boat.
Yeah.
Literally, if to go Jim Collins' way, if you're not on the bus, you're under the bus right now. There's no room. It's very, very binary. It's very binary. Organisations are not fighting for profitability; they're fighting for survival.
Yeah.
And if everybody's not stepping up to do their part and push through this uncertainty, the simple reality is they are weight that you cannot afford to carry, which is very, very harsh.
Yeah.
That is the reality of the situation we find ourselves in. And I think that on the whole, I think that organisations that I'm working with have been very, very clear about that in a friendly way. And I think government policy has been fantastic in relation to enabling companies to save the employees that are worth saving.
Yes.
But I think people need to be very wary of thinking that something like JobKeeper is a guarantee for their job, because it's not. We can't function the way we were functioning because we are in a very different environment.
Yeah.
And failing to row means the boat goes down.